Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahushai, Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahushai, Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Straight Mill, Soul True Well. Salutations to the hopefully elect out there, you Akim to Sadakim, that do the singing the utmost truth and sincerity. On the pre-Shaman this week, I'm gonna speak on the plane crash, the DC plane crash. I gave it a little bit to marinate, some more information to come out before I said I'll speak on it. And I think enough information has come out to, give my assessment, speaking as a man, and how this sort of things could tie into prophecies. There's more information to be brought out because they did recover the black boxes for not just the helicopter, but also the airplane. And that will give us, sort of audio, more details in terms of this communications that was being made. So far on the surface level, it looked like just sheer incompetence. Okay, I'm just going based on the information that was released. They only had one air traffic controller. Typically, you should have two. One managing wind aircraft, like the airplanes, and one managing copters. And Reagan International Airport is known to be busy. Now, President Donald Trump has said, look, he just chalked it up to a total incompetence, because he did make a valid point. You could say, well, if you do slow it down, okay, then guess what? Then you're gonna have planes circling the fucking airspace for hours. But then if it's too much, then you could have situations where it's more traffic. So you need very smart and brilliant people to handle situations like that, which is true. It's common sense. So he did politicize it by saying it was DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, which DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, is no more different than affirmative action. This stuff has been around the 60s. It's just been rebranded. They used to push equality. It's all about equality. You got to give this person equal chance. But then, anybody with two senses in their brain that do a little research, you're like, wait a minute. You guys don't want fucking equality. You want equity. Equality will be, let's use basketball, for example. Everybody, no matter your height, the rim stays the same. Everybody gets, when you drop a ball into the basket, we all get the same points. That's equality. Equity is, well, this guy is too short, so let's, when he shoot the ball, and let's give him more points. Or what they do in the military, right? Drop the standards for women, that type of stuff, so that they could pass a physical exam. In other words, equality would be the person, anybody has to accommodate to the particular situation. Equity is, we have to accommodate the situation per particular person. So people are like, wait a minute, it's not about equality, it's about equity. And once that was put into play, then it was just like, okay, then now we have to rebrand it as equity and inclusion. And it's only common sense that that's going to fail. You know what I'm saying? If you're hiring, let's say, for example, a woman that's 150 pounds to be a firefighter that has a hard time carrying the equipment just for the sake of hiring her because she's a woman or she's so-called black, you're going to run into some issues. So Donald Trump politicized it to blame the previous administration before his administration could be blamed, because I don't think this guy wants anything, a bad rep or bad look under his administration or his name. That's how Trump is. That's the kind of guy he is. Any crisis, how can we twist it to our benefit? Now, whether it's organic or inorganic, I'm leaning towards again, just for the information, for now, I'm leaning towards an organic event, because I'm just going based on what's released. You know what I'm saying? If more information comes out that they scripted it or it was synthetic, then by all means, flip stance. This is the book of 2 Corinthians 2:11, which is very much possible. I'm going to read it. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And what's Satan's devices? Psyopses, psychological operations. But then you don't want to say everything de facto is a psyop, because that's a psyop in itself, right? Because if you don't believe anything, it's effectively the same as believing everything. So we have to approach everything with a filter, which we do. That's how I'm going to get the next scripture right here. Get it right now. Revelations 3:18. It says, I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire. Okay, this is not talking about actual gold. Okay, he's comparing actual gold to men. Choice men, perfect men, men that have been tried through the fire. What we read about in Ecclesiastes is the second chapter, pretty much, the first verse on down. It says that thou mayest be rich and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame, and when it says clothes, it's talking about putting on righteousness. The scriptures tell you put on righteousness as a garment, and the scriptures also tells us nakedness represents sin. So when Yahushua comes back, you want to have your garments on, man. You don't want to have strange apparel on. You don't want to have a different philosophy or a different doctrine, and you don't want to be caught out there in the world naked. Okay, you want to have on this truth, this gospel. All right, being taught the proper way. That information being flowed down from our apostles and elders and bishops on down. Okay, it says that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear. Right, and just broke that down. And anoint thine eye with eye salve, that thou mayest see. Right, so that we have a spiritual eye with everything. Everything that comes before us, whether it's discussed, whether it's, share information, what we got. So my take is, there are vicissitudes in life. There's ambiguity in life. In other words, shit just happens. Shit could happen. You know what I'm saying? The fucking the aircraft controller told the plane, look, you have the go ahead to land, and the helicopter was asked, do you see the plane? They saw another plane, but not the incoming plane. And a thing too to also consider is that was a military vehicle. All right, when you're dealing with civilians and military, the people in the military chopper could have been getting information from the military and not getting that confirmation on the civilian, and shit could happen really quick. Now it has been revealed that there was a woman pilot with 500 hours of experience, which is not much, but she was surrounded by 2 other pilots, and very experienced pilots. But that doesn't stop a fucking accidents from happening. Accidents happen every day. You could be driving for 30 years and still some crazy shit happen. There was mentioning that there was like night vision goggles there too, which is not likely that they would be wearing them, but we don't know if they were. If they were, that would also obstruct their view. But it was very bad and miscommunication on their part, everybody's part. It was just a huge clusterfuck. Management, the air traffic controller, that was bad. Like I said, it was very just incompetent. And I'm just going based off the information they released. It was poorly mismanaged, and it led to that, that tragic situation. Now, granted, airplane collisions still, data-wise, is the safest way to travel, because shits don't really happen like that. It's not like a car, where car accidents happen way more often. But yeah, crisis, whatever crisis, again, whether organic or synthetic, they're going to use it to their behavior. They could use this, they could circle back this and go back to saying this is why we need AI, more AI to regulate air traffic control. The DEI thing, Trump threw that out there. He threw a bone and let the media, devour over bone. Really, irregardless of the fact that she was a woman or not, you still had 2 experienced pilots, and they were so-called white people, right? So when he pushed that out there, then he did that to blame what the Biden administration was doing, which was pretty much high. So again, go back to the equity part. People with psychiatric problems and these sorts of things, giving them roles just for the sake of meeting a quota, which is completely fucking stupid. So he was gonna sign that diversity, equity, inclusion bill anyway. But if this crisis happens, hell, shit, let's put it together and make myself even look more, give me more validation, if you will. And man, a lot has been happening. A lot has been happening. We saw this was just the first month of January. We had the Tesla bombing. We had all these different types of shit. Therefore, 2025 will not be boring. It's a very exciting year. Very exciting time, man. So we definitely have to be circumspect and look out for information too, because seeing a lot of disinformation and propaganda as well to the events. You know what I'm saying? This is the book of Ephesians chapter 5 verse 15. It says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Right, so, and the scriptures tell us about redeeming the time. So I don't chalk this one up as a black swan event per se. I mean, look, shit can happen. Accidents happen all the fucking time. And they use that to sort of capitalize, at least Trump did, by politicizing it, to give his executive order more validation. DEI is completely fucking stupid. Now, you know what that does do too? Also make a lot of people are gonna look at Jake with a side eye. You know what I'm saying? You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because they've lumped you into that particular section of DEI, right? So if you're a so-called Latino and you're doing a good fucking job, and you get promoted, and you're dealing with a bunch of heathens around you, they're gonna be looking at you like, yo, did you just get that job because you're a fucking Latino, or you a nigga? You know what I'm saying? Further fueling that, you know, division and racism sort of feel. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens when you go too far in one direction. You know what I'm saying? The last 4 years have been so fucking far left. I mean, just like most people in the world don't want to chop their dick off. All right? Most people in the world are not okay with a child chopping their dick off, right? So it went too far left that all you have to do is come back in and just put a little bit of common sense and you'll be praised. So yeah, man. So a lot of shit is popping off, man. A lot of shit is popping off. Let's see if they circle back to this and use it for more nefarious agendas. But so far, the only thing we got is that this dude Trump, again, politicized it and use it for his own bill that he was going to pass irregardless. You know what I'm saying? But there's tons of speculation, man. There's tons of speculation. Whether that was a suicide attempt, the fact that it happened on 1533, was it a sacrifice? 33, you know, we could speculate, but just, you know, I'm just saying, giving my take on the facts that we have so far. Let's see what more they disclose, man. Hey, man. Rakati Yahawah Shim Yahweh Shah Hashem Rafaq Dash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Mill, so true well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there. You Akim to Zadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.